Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of IDub Hockey. We've got Dan Rich in front of us today, and he's the Manager of Protective Development for Sherwood Hockey. Dan, thanks once again for sitting down with us.
Thanks for having me again.
You're welcome. And so we've got your brand new Rekker Element protective family in front of us today. Before we start hopping into all the key tech and spec, how would you describe the fit profile and the style of player that this is geared for compared to your Code family?
Well, we had a lot of success with the Code family, which was designed as a lightweight and ultra mobile protective family, if you will. And Rekker is really suited and designed for that player who goes to those dirty areas, will go to the top of the blue paint, will actually go fish a puck out of the corner and take that contact and take it straight to the net. So that's designed for a player who wants a little bit more robust protection, doesn't want to sacrifice mobility at all, but at the same time wants it to be a little bit more beefy, a little bit more muscle to it, and then at the same time, needs some adjustability as well. So we have some amazing adjustability features on the product. We've got real robust protection level, and we're very excited to introduce Viconic as a third-party impact dispersion layer to our protective family as well.
So Viconic, that's going to be the main reason why players are not going to be afraid to get in those dirty areas, block those shots, and deliver those big hits. So somebody who's never heard of Viconic impact protection, what exactly is it and how does it benefit the player?
Well, we looked at a number of different types of foam to give us the max impact dispersion we could get. And ultimately, we settled on Viconic, which has been used in, it's a cone-like material that actually takes the brunt of the impact and disperses it over a wider surface area. It's used exclusively in the automotive industry. It's used extensively in the military as well as a method to protect soldiers from blast dispersion. So we figured if it's going to be used in those applications, then obviously it must be exceptional for use in a hockey application. So we've actually added Viconic in some key impact areas. If you look at our RE1 shoulder pad as an example here, where we've added it in a real critical area in through the arch or collarbone area, and you can actually physically feel the cones in the product. And this actually on any direct impact, whether it's cross-check, it could be shot, or it could be body check impact, will help disperse that impact through the arch area and protect the player. And then we've also added it in through the back from a rib protection area, whether you're taking a cross-check or in the event that you've actually facing the net, shot from the point, and could take some impact in through this area. So we put it in two key areas that allow us to give the max protection possible so that the player can be confident that they're protected at all times.
So you did mention a ton of mobility that players are going to maintain. That's with the help of CIP technology and overall the flex panel. I mean, there's a ton of flexibility and floating features. So why don't you walk us through the shoulder pad and what exactly the design's got this year?
So from a mobility standpoint, we wanted to make sure that there was a lot of mobility in through the chest and in through the vest, if you will. So by having a floating sternum and a floating spine, that was key. These two pieces in the chest area and the vest will actually act independently and actually are separate and with a floating sternum plate over top of it. So it allows for mobility all the way across the full range of motion, and it also creates a great deal of airflow. You'll also see the perforations in through the foam, the various foam layers to create that airflow as well, which also helps reduce weight. From a CIP perspective, what we've done is given max Velcro here so that depending on the size of the chest and in through the rib cage for the player, there is tons of adjustment. There is a CIP adjustment and a belly pad, which is fully removable in through the abdomen. And as an interesting feature, this CIP abdomen pad can be removed and actually applied to a Velcro strip along the back spine as well. So if a player feels they want more impact protection from cross checks or from interaction with the defenseman, they can actually move that CIP from the abdomen and move it into the spine area for greater protection from where the lip of your pant or that spine area of your pant. So for a taller guy who wants more protection in this area, the CIP may be better served in the back. The other amazing call out is the CIP adjustment, both telescopic in the bicep with simple Velcro adjustments, which allows us to change the length, and then a third adjustment or an additional CIP that actually layers to the inside. So a player with a very long arm, if they have that gap between the upper arm protection and their elbow pad in through this area, they can actually extend the third CIP level to eliminate that gap, if you will. If the player has a shorter arm, this CIP third level can actually be removed altogether to create a more traditional gap between your elbow pad and your bicep guard on your shoulder pad. So with the CIP adjustment, the added depth of the Velcro and the telescopic adjustments in through the arm, we think we've probably brought our most adjustable and greatest protection level that we've ever offered in the Sherwood shoulder pad.
Wow. Another reason why players are not going to be afraid to get in those dirty areas. They're going to have full coverage, no gaps in protection. So let's jump down to the elbow pad. How's the protection package down there and the adjustability?
So we wanted to continue with our Biconic story. We've used Biconic in 2 locations on the shoulder pad, and we've done it as well in the elbow pad. The visible one is actually in the slash tab, if you will, on the lateral side. So this is an exposed area for a player. When their arm is fully extended, it creates an exposed area that's quite vulnerable, and having Biconic in this area eliminates the risk for the player. The other place we put it is actually in the elbow tip or in the calf. While it's not visible, it is there, and when you do take a fall or that impact on the boards or with another player, you have max protection on the most vulnerable part of your elbow in the calf. We've got the articulated slash guard in through the forearm with adjustability and large Velcro adjustability down through the bottom of the forearm. A molded foam cap, which gives a really nice aesthetic and calls out the Sherwood logo, very pronounced in the chrome logo. And then we have adjustability up in the bicep area to the point where some players, if necessary, may choose to remove the bicep guard altogether. And this is a simple Velcro tab that can be adjusted. Some players have chosen to remove the bicep area because of the length of their arm that integrates well with the shoulder cap. So if your bicep falls into this area and you don't need this overlap, then you can actually remove the CIP and the bicep guard on the element 1 shoulder cap. So, elbow pad. So we're very excited about this adjustability. Again, it really relates to the customization part for any player, and having the Biconic in both the elbow tip and in the slash area on the lateral side is actually very important for us this year. Also, the elastic or the neoprene stretch across the center of the arm secures the elbow in place, so there's no spinning or movement if you were to go down. There's nothing worse than getting a raspberry on that elbow because it spun on you when you went down. This one locks it in place so you're nice and deep in the cup.
Right on. Now, the Shin Guard, it's nice to see full calf wrap coverage this year. Done a really good job there. So walk us through the Shin Guard, please.
Shin Guard is actually an amazing fitting product. The lining is quilted throughout and creates a really nice channel with some grip print in through for your tibia to slot right into it. And then the wing, if you will, that comes around the knee and creates a nice pocket or donut for the kneecap. So you'll find when you do put our shin pad on, it settles right into your leg before you've even buckled it down or strapped it down. It has a really nice fit profile, and it feels like it's secured in place right off the bat. So again, eliminates that potential of a spin or movement when you go down. Biconic, again, in through the slash area, which was very important for us, and Biconic in the kneecap area, while not visible in this aspect, but again, knowing that it's there. Adjustability in through the guard, in through the quad area, and lots of adjustability in through the Velcro. As you come through the loop to around the tape channel, There's tons of adjustability in through the back in the calf area, and then an elastic tab to really close the wrap on your calf. So depending on how big your calves are, you can really get this to customize around the wrap. Again, keep in mind in all of our elements, in the shoulder pad, the elbow pad, and the shin pad, you actually have the COPR29 copper infused lining. So you have that antimicrobial feature as you had in our gloves. You've got it throughout the protective series in the Element 1. So that's actually a great selling feature. The nice, depending on whether the player wears tongues in or tongues out, you've got a nice padded cuff down at the bottom of your shin guard as well to ensure you're not getting any abrasion or a sharp edge to bite into you if you're going with tongues out, as an example.
So your COPR29 liner, you just mentioned it. There is a great benefit to what it does for a player. So somebody who doesn't know what that liner does and that copper material in it, could you just quickly explain how that works?
So copper has a natural antimicrobial element to it. It actually prohibits or helps eliminate the growth of bacteria. So when you sweat into these lining materials, over time what happens is the microbes will actually multiply, and that's ultimately what makes your hockey equipment stink. So the copper in the material, so this actually has copper in the thread, actually helps eliminate that. And the best part about it is that it never goes away. While some different manufacturers are using a laminated antimicrobial agent on their lining material, that will over time dissipate or reduce or wash away. While as copper R29, the antimicrobial features do not go away. So they are in there for the life of your product. The other real important feature, Brandon, for this is the fact that the lining is fully removable and fully machine washable in both the elbow pad and in the shin guard. So this material can come out over time if you wish, and at the same time knowing that when you're washing it, you're not reducing the effectiveness of the antimicrobial.
That's going to make a lot of moms and wives happy.
That's the goal, make hockey moms happy.
There you go. Wow, super awesome Element 1 line. We've got two more, ton of value in both these price points. So for that competitive hockey player looking for something maybe a little bit more price conscious, but still wanting all these awesome features, we got the two. So walk us through some key features of each shoulder, shin, or shoulder, shin, and elbow.
Here's the two shoulder pad, and the things that I can tell you right off the bat is the CIP adjustability that you had in the abdomen, the CIP adjustability you had in the bicep, and the copper R29 lining are all in the two as well. While there's no Viconic introduced in this, we have enhanced the arch area and the collarbones and the slash areas that you would take, or cross-check areas in through the back. Also, the floating sternum and spine that you had in the RE1 are featured here in the 2 as well. So this gives you real robust caps, a ton of adjustability, and the benefit of the copper R29 lining, again, at a very affordable price. This, for that recreational player, that minor hockey player, that young teen, the value and the protection level are off the charts for what we've got in the RE2. And in the 4, again, value is key. The big padded collar area, the various flex panels to allow for lots of mobility, and the floating sternum and spine are real great callouts to allow for mobility. And we also have adjustable bicep and removable CIP in the abdomen at this price point. And this is available both senior, junior, and also in youth sizing, shin, shoulder, elbow, and pants. So we think the 4, which is our price point, if you will, or our price fighter, if you will, if you match it up within the industry, we think we're bringing a lot to the table from a features and benefits standpoint with the Rekker Element 4.
Totally. Dan, absolutely awesome to have you share this awesome line. Really looking forward to hitting the shelf this year. Thanks so much.
Thanks for having us. Look forward to a great season.
Me too. And for you guys at home, if you guys want to get your hands on this awesome Rekker Element line, you head over to icewarehouse.com.